Hey guys, what is up? It is SSD Middleman here with GuidesForUsAll, and today I'm going to be reviewing the free-to-play MMORPG Dragomon Hunter. Dragomon Hunter, like I said, is a free-to-play MMORPG with visuals stylized like anime. You can hunt down over 100 fantastical monsters, as the game boasts. You can collect the defeated Dragomon as your mounts or harvest their materials to upgrade your gear. Now that is the game's description, and it is slightly accurate. Can collect the defeated Dragomon as your mounts. You can bring them to your ranch, breed them to create new Dragomon that you can use either as mounts, like I said, to ride around on, or to continue breeding and doing stuff on your ranch. Now this game was developed by X-Legend and published by Area Games, who has a known track record for having a few issues with pay-to-win aspects of their games, but I will be giving Dragomon Hunter an unbiased review. We're going to take that fact out of there. We're not going to talk about Area Games for the rest of this review. I'm going to be talking from my personal experience with about 15 hours played on Dragomon Hunter, so let's get started with the character creation. There are 4 classes that you can choose from, either the Mage, the Cleric, the Scout, and the last one is Mercenary, which is the one that I chose as my class for this playthrough, I suppose you could say. There's really very little visual customization you can do for your characters. You could change their hairstyle, a few aspects of their face, and then choose if it's male or female. There's really not a ton of distinction between characters in Dragomon Hunter, which is a little unfortunate. I also think it's worth noting that this game is in open beta right now, so it's not fully released yet, but it still functions as a full-fledged MMO. So let's get right into the tutorial. I didn't have many problems with the tutorial besides the fact that the tip messages kind of got in the way of you. It really did explain the gameplay pretty well and gets you on the right track to actually playing the game. Now, one thing you will notice right when you start playing is that the characters' voices are louder than like everything else in the game.
You look like you could use a rest.
Yeah, rest in peace headphone users. You're gonna end up playing this game with pretty low volume. Anyways, let's talk about the story a little bit. And I mean a little bit, because the story is very uninteresting. There's no big overarching plot that can get you hooked at all, really. I found myself bored of the text really quickly, so I ended up hitting the skip button most of the time when talking to NPCs. Now, the only reason to even look at the text is because sometimes there's a little bit of quirky or funny dialogue from character to character, but other than that, it's not really worth noting. The combat in the game, however, is very fun, in my opinion. I like that it's more of an active combat role. You can move around to dodge attacks of your enemies pretty actively, even their basic attacks. You can roll to dodge the big attacks, although I will note that it's really, really easy to dodge these attacks, as it shows a red area where the attack will hit, and you just move out of it within like 2 or 3 seconds, and you're fine. But it is really fun. There are several abilities that allow you to target multiple enemies. It's pretty easy to switch targets, pretty easy to dodge attacks, which unfortunately allows you to get in a quite repetitive rhythm. You dodge, use this ability, use this one, dodge, use this ability, attack them with this. Leads to boredom with the combat, although I still do think the combat is very fluid and a lot of fun. Now let's talk about the side questing that you can do in the game. Now, there are a few side missions that you'll come along every now and then. They're pretty much the same as the main quest. Almost all of the quests in this game, main or side, are gather this, or kill this, or gather this and kill this. That's pretty much the extent of quests you will find. Sometimes it will tell you to find someone, and when you get to them, you will kill this. So every quest boils down to gather this or kill this. Now, there are bounty boards you can go up to, which give you nice daily quests that you can do to earn reputation with certain factions. Although my problem with the factions is that all of the faction rewards are useless. Yep, I go up to these faction guys, I check the stats on these faction XP locked items, and they're worse than the gear I've gotten just by playing through the main story. So doesn't seem like there's really much to get from the factions except the mounts that you can buy from them at like maximum rep, basically. And another problem I have with the bounty boards is that there are mission limits. You could do 30 bounties per day and 25 hunts per day. I just think it's a little silly that they would make these limits when there are a ton more missions than that. There are way more than 30 bounty missions and way more than 25 hunt missions, although those are the limits you are held to. Now, some other side stuff you can do relating to combat. You can head over to the Hoppodrome if you have enough tickets. Now, to get the tickets to use the Hoppodrome, you can play bounty board quests, main quests, and sometimes get them as drops from higher leveled monsters. It will give you access to a room where you can fight a single boss to get special rewards that are pretty much only available there. So the Hoppodrome is a nice place to go to if you do have the tickets. You get quite a lot of experience from defeating these bosses, which is also nice, and you get some items that are unique to this area that I'll talk about here in a minute. Another thing you can do is you can go to party and solo dungeons that are repeatable areas you can go to with your friends or by yourself to fight a few enemies and then a boss enemy at the end for rewards. Now, don't worry, don't get too excited. There are more limits. Now, there are instance limits. You can only do 3 or 5 instances of those party or solo dungeons, I believe, every single day. Don't quote me on that. There is also a monster kill limit of 1,200 monsters in the normal outside areas that you can explore. Now, once you reach the kill limit, you will not get any experience or crafting materials from these monsters, although you can still get all of their other item drops. Now, I'd like to take this moment to talk about earning those mounts. Like I said before, you can slay Dragomon and take them as your mounts. To do that, you actually have to get lucky when you kill one for it to drop its egg. You'll then search the egg, and if you are really lucky after searching the egg, you will get it as a mount. Most of the time, you'll get other garbage that you actually really don't want from it, and then when you do get the egg, you are still not guaranteed to get the mount. So farming for mounts is actually a pain in the ass, although a nice thing is that the kill limit does not apply to the mount drop. So you can farm as many enemies per day as you want to get that mount. You will just stop getting experience and crafting materials at 1,200 kills. Now, let's get into the leveling and the stats of the game. I'll just say right off the bat that the leveling progression is pretty nice. It's pretty smooth. I didn't really face any huge areas where I had to grind my way through. There was one point where I had to reach a certain level to progress in the main quest, but I just went and did some bounty board missions and a few solo dungeons, and I reached the level pretty easily. Now, when you level up, there are actually 2 levels. First off is your normal level, which is used for equipment and your main quest stories and all that good stuff. The second is your hunter level, which you level up to give stat points. Every time you level up in your hunter level, you can spend stat points in one of 5 fields, either attack, defense, health points, critical hits, or penetration. Penetration is how much damage you do through enemies' armor. Like I said, 1 stat point for each hunter level, and you will level up your hunter level faster than your normal level. You level them both up just by getting EXP. All the EXP goes to both of your levels anyways, so no need to worry about it. The hunter level will come with your normal levels. No extra grinding required there, which is pretty nice. Now we'll talk about the hub, which is called Elysium. This is where you can do all your basic MMO stuff, store items, get quests, sell items, buy items, craft stuff, hang out, travel to other areas. All that basic stuff. They're pretty nice and well organized. It looks nice, it feels nice. The only problem is that they're a bit laggy. I don't know if this is due to so many players being in one instance, or if there is just, I don't know, too much stuff going on. But there are lots of bots and gold sellers spamming the chat, telling you to visit their website to buy gold from them, etc., etc. You see this in most MMOs, but it is very prevalent here in Dragomon Hunter. You will even get messages to your personal inbox in-game from people trying to sell you gold, which kind of sucks, but I still do like the way that the hub is laid out. It's pretty nice, and the map makes it even easier to navigate around to different areas of the hub. Now I'd like to talk about professions, which are basically just little skills that you can use to gather materials and do other stuff around the game. There are currently 5 professions that you can choose from: mining, crafting, fishing, cooking, and breeding. I'm going to go into these just a little bit because they're not really worth going into that much. Mining you can use to mine ores around the various areas you can visit in the game. For some reason, every time you mine an ore, no matter where it's at, you'll get 10 experience. 10 experience for each ore, no matter whether it's in the first area or the last area of the game. 10 experience. So it's weird. It leads to very slow leveling, very repetitive leveling. Crafting you can use to craft better gear for your character, special unique gear from boss items and crafting materials. Pretty interesting. I do like it, although you'll pretty much find that most of the gear is useless, and you won't really need to upgrade your gear all that often. The leveling is also super slow and way too grindy / expensive to gather the crafting materials and then pay the gold cost just to craft things. Now fishing It's the only profession I find to actually have a pretty streamlined approach to leveling. It doesn't take too long, you unlock special fishing quests at a certain level, and it really just feels nice and smooth. The fish that you gather can give you temporary stat boosts for usually 5 to 10 minutes, which is pretty interesting and kind of gives you actual motivation to level up your fishing level. Cooking is used to cook food for your Dragomon inside the ranch. The leveling for this is also super slow, super boring. And then last but not least, there's breeding, which is used to breed Dragomon for your ranch. You level this up by breeding your Dragomon. There's really not much to it. You just need 2 Dragomon of similar types, get their bars up to 100% by feeding them food, and then, you know, kind of let them get it on and make babies. Now, a few more fun side distractions that you can go for in the game are the achievements and titles. Titles you acquire give you stat boosts, permanent stat boosts to your character. You get titles through achievements, so you get achievements, you get titles, you get stat boosts. It's pretty nice. It's fun to have stuff to go for and fun to actually get rewarded for it. Like I was talking about earlier, the ranch is a nice side distraction you get at level 20, I believe, or 25, where you can breed Dragomon, care for them, collect them, and archive them for special rewards. There are also daily login rewards that you can get by logging in every day, and daily events that you can complete to earn event points and unlock special items by using these event points, which reset every day. I really like the daily events. They kind of do give you more of a daily incentive to play the game, but overall they can get quite repetitive as well. Now we're going to talk about the other currencies besides gold inside the game, including the premium currency called AP, which is area points. First off, we'll talk about the Dragomon points, which you get by killing bosses and certain rare enemies. You can use this to actually purchase the loot that certain enemies will drop. So let's say there's an enemy you're farming, there's a rare mount that it can drop. You can actually buy that mount with these Dragomon points so that you don't have to farm for it. This is a really nice feature. I actually really like this, although it does take some time to gather these Dragomon points by killing bosses, although it is super nice that this can alleviate some grinding, especially if you're unlucky with a certain drop. Now there are also loyalty points, which you can get through achievements or the daily events that I was speaking of earlier. These can be used to purchase items from the loyalty shop, and the loyalty shop has almost everything that the regular AP shop has, which is pretty nice as well. So you can actually earn most of the things you would pay real money for in the premium shop with loyalty points that you can earn every day through achievements and special events. Now, onto the premium currency, which is what everybody was dreading. AP. Is this game pay to win? Let's find out. In the AP shop, you can purchase mounts that you would earn through normal gameplay. You can just buy those. You can purchase premium mounts, which are only purchasable in the AP shop and the loyalty shop, but it is nice that pretty much everything in here is available in the loyalty shop as well. You can purchase consumables such as XP boosters, loot boosters, character slots, and gear evolution items. These are also available in the loyalty shop, but do note it will take you longer to grind for those by playing through loyalty points. And then we have the web mall, which is something else that you spend AP on. Let me actually go on their website right now to check out the web mall. Alright, we're here on their website, and you can see everything you'd buy in the AP shop that I already previously talked about, along with some other stuff. So let's check out the other stuff. Here is an Ironskin Wyvern Combat Mount mystery box. Now what this gives you is a mystery box that can contain either that Ironskin Wyvern saddle, or just a bunch of other crap that probably isn't worth the money you'd spent. Now, I should note that 100 AP points converts to $1 in real life currency. This mystery box costs 299 AP points, so basically $3 just for the chance to get the Wyvern saddle. This is pretty standard in any MMO though, although there is some other stuff that'll guarantee you things. Here we have the Ultimate Hunter Pack version 3. It's discounted 21% right now. This contains just about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 mounts that you can earn in game, or you can just buy them. You want to know how much it costs? At the discounted price, 5,999 AP, which converts over to about $60. Really expensive. Really expensive. Now there are also some things which concern me. There are certain quests that you can get from a character named Emily in game, where you will have to spend AP in the shop to complete these quests. There's a level 15 quest called Where the Dragomon Roam that you have to purchase Dragomon medicine from the Webmall shop for 199 AP, which converts over to about $2 to complete this quest. And by completing this quest, you get the exclusive Pure Angelic headband from this quest. It's only available through this quest, so you cannot actually earn everything just by playing the game free to play. You get 20 Fortune Gems, Bluebird's Blessing, 10 Slot Backpack, 30 Dragomon points, just standard stuff. There is another quest that is called No Place Like Rome. Pretty similar thing, except the AP cost is $2,499, basically $25. You get exclusive Snowy Angelic Wings to complete your little angel set there, some Fortune Gems, Gear Evolution Scrolls, blah, 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 blah. So we have some pay-to-win aspects here that we're seeing. Also these mounts, including the premium mounts, you can all sell these in the auction house, available in-game for in-game currency. And I should also note that in-game currency is not easy to come by. Just playing up to this point and doing normal stuff, crafting my gear, I have about 35 gold on my character right now. 35 gold. Now, to create a guild, you need 500 gold. To purchase a character slot from the market from another person who's selling it is about 70 gold. That means I'd have to have about double my playtime just to unlock a second character slot, which really sucks that that's also restricted behind the paywall. I'm not even going to get into the other aspects, but basically, if you want to alleviate a ton of grinding for money, just spend some money. That is basically the pay-to-win aspect of this game. You can also purchase what I had said before, which are those little loot spins. I forget what they're called. Fortune Gems, I believe. Yeah, Fortune Gems. You use these to spin in Falcon's Fortune in the item mall to get a special reward as well that is exclusive to the paid currency. You can also get these Fortune Gems through the loyalty program, but I must note that it takes a lot of loyalty points just to get a few Fortune Gems to use on Falcon Spin. So, overall verdict, is this game pay to win? Kinda. I'd put it in the middle as mixed feelings on the pay-to-win aspects of this game. On one hand, you can pay to get things to trade over for gold in-game or to just skip a lot of the grinding, or you could get XP boosts and stuff, but most of that is also available in the loyalty shop. On the other hand, you really can earn a lot of what you will need in this game just by playing through, and it's not really a big deal. I haven't gone out of my way grinding for stuff that often. Like I said, I have about 15 hours, so I'm not into the late game yet, and I've read some reviews of people who do have maxed out characters saying that the PvP is super unbalanced and that buying stuff will give you a huge unfair advantage in PvP combat, although it seems that PvE combat is pretty balanced and you don't actually need to spend real life money to get anywhere with that. So my overall verdict for Dragomon Hunter is a 6 out of 10. The gameplay is really fun and can keep you hooked even when you get a little bit bored of the grindy missions. Some things that made the game lose a lot of points are the fact there's really no story. I mean, there is a story, but it's so boring that you're just going to get completely uninterested in it very quickly. The item shop is definitely a turnoff, and there's some progression issues with those professions, but do keep in mind this game is in open beta, and they're constantly updating it to introduce new things all the time. If you're looking for a new MMO to play, or you just want to try out a new kind of game, Dragomon Hunter is free to play, easy to get into, and a lot of fun, at least for a little bit. So I recommend giving it a shot. You may like it, you may not. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like rating down below and subscribe to see some more videos in the future, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.